Introducing first, to my right, from Austin, Texas, she squats 275 pounds, she benches 190, thick mama pump, Jordynne Grace! Her opponent, to my left from Seattle, Washington, making her return to Beyond Wrestling, please welcome back, Kimber!
And touching on your point earlier, DC, not only did Jordynne Grace step up on less than an hour's notice, she did it after an absolute clinic against Tennille Dashwood, where she came up just short.
Tennille Dashwood, one of the very best women's wrestlers in the world. I think that many would probably say the same about Kimberly, competing as Abby Lath in an unbelievable encounter against the alpha female, the first round of the Mae Young Classic last year. But you got corporate wrestling and you got rock and roll. And I think that Kimberly is right at home here in a Beyond Wrestling ring.
And as you mentioned, Jazzy Gabbert, so she's used to being up against people who can throw some weight around, and that's exactly what Jordynne Grace does best.
Here's Kimberly coming up victorious last night against Tessa Blanchard in the main event of Welcome Home Night 1. The replay already streaming at powerbomb.tv. I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. If this is your first time checking out a Beyond Wrestling broadcast, we've got some unbelievable matches lined up here tonight, including MJF versus Matt Riddle for the first time ever. Tonight's main event, the Powerbomb TV Independent Wrestling Championship, held by Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, going to be defended against Joey Janela.
And this might be the most stacked card since American Rana last summer.
Hard to disagree, and we did see Kimberly making her official return to Beyond Wrestling in Kenner, Louisiana, as part of Beyond Wrestling versus Women Wrestling Revolution Lit Up. Coming up just short against Hot Sauce Tracy Williams for that Powerbomb TV Independent Wrestling Championship.
And we talk about Jordynne Grace's strength, but under the guidance of Jonathan Gresham, she has turned into quite the technical master on the mat as well. So she can really do it in all aspects of professional wrestling.
22 years old, but she's been wrestling about the same amount of time as Kimberly. And not to say that Kimberly's coming back with any sort of ring rust, but she certainly hasn't been keeping up the same type of schedule as Jordynne Grace. You do think that Kimberly also has the benefit, having had trained under the guidance of some of the very best professional wrestlers of all time over the past year.
And especially when it comes to working on the mat, having someone like Robbie Brookside being able to show you a thing or two, it isn't going to hurt.
Kimberly not able to get too much out of that pinning transaction. Oh, Jordynne Grace hesitated though. Kimberly making her pay for it with a boot to the midsection. Now Kimberly looking to show off her strength. Jordynne Grace instead getting met with an inside cradle. She tried to counter the suplex.
That almost turned into a brain buster there.
Got to be very careful at all times. A match can end on a moment's notice. As they say, even though Kimberly has a dance background, this ain't ballet.
It certainly is not.
Reversal of position, and Jordynne gets the elbow up. Both these competitors keeping a breakneck pace. You're going to wonder if at some point either one is going to try and slow down the action. As Kimberly goes for the kick, this time Jordynne Grace had it scouted. And Kimberly avoiding contact, trying to get out of the way of Jordynne Grace. And that time catching her with a jawbreaker. Kimberly wrestling circles around Jordynne Grace, looking for that arm drag. Jordynne Grace just too strong. Bringing her back up to her feet, centering her to the ropes. This is with the clothesline. Kim's building up a head of steam. Rebounds off the ropes with that flying head scissors. And Jordynne Grace looks all out of sorts right now.
And to your point, I think at some point it's going to have to slow down because you can already see both competitors breathing a little heavy. This has been a breakneck pace. And I think if it's going to go long, I would have to give the advantage to Jordynne Grace just because she's been working at this pace for so long and with a tougher schedule.
Running facebuster out of the corner from Kimber Lee. Instead of going for a pin, she's going to go up top. She beat Tessa Blanchard following that swanton bomb yesterday. Didn't get her with the first pin attempt. Got her right back into the pin and kept her down on the second. Oh!
Wow.
But there's the strength of Jordynne Grace. The crossbody deflected with the headbutt to the chest. Kimberly is laid out and in trouble.
I guess you could use the word innovative for that defensive move right there by Jordynne Grace.
Well, it's one way to use your head. And with Jordynne Grace targeting that midsection, you think it's just a matter of time before she can apply that bear hug. Sending Kimberly into the buckle, making her run around the ring before colliding into the 3 turnbuckles. The pads on those corners really only to prevent laceration. Every time you're whipped into the corner, it's like getting hit with 3 hammerheads. Oh!
And this is where Jordynne is going to implement her will in the match, taking control, taking her time, because even though Jordynne Grace can keep up a pace, I think she's best when she slows it down.
Kim, though, with a veteran counter. Jordynne Grace on for a straightjacket suplex. Almost a reverse bear hog as she applies the submission, maybe not looking for a throw instead. Arms trapped. Kim has nowhere to go but backward to try and break the hold. Now, this is an unusual application of the bear hug from Jordynne Grace, but it's proven to be very effective nevertheless. And I think Jordynne Grace's approach is to almost to try and reach underneath the rib cage, make it really difficult to breathe.
Oh, nice
He walked right into
buster.
that.
And in the application of that bear hug, she also took Kimberly's defensive mechanisms away, her arms. It made it hard for her to swing out and use momentum.
I mean, anatomically, correct me if I'm wrong, the purpose of the rib cage is to protect vital organs.
Yes.
If you can try and reach in underneath and squeeze under, I mean, you're not going to be doing the same type of damage with the traditional bear hug, but still wearing down your opponent nevertheless. The full application of this hold, though, Jordynne Grace is going to have to get Kimberly off her feet.
And clearly Jordynne saw that Kimberly was breathing a little heavy, and now she's going to make her breathe even heavier.
Kim's fading nevertheless, even with the feet on the mat. If her
There's
hand
2.
drops one more time, Jordynne Grace will have won by making her opponent pass out, but Kimberly still showing signs of life. Bum rushed into the corner. And the attack on the abdomen continues. Again, those shots that connect right underneath the ribs. Kim's trying to fight back. I mean, Kim's as scrappy as they come. We know that.
Nice. Inza Gary getting back into this match. Barely a 2. And it's gut check time for both of these women.
Well, this is the first time that Kimberly has been back in the signature Beyond Wrestling environment where the fans are ringside. And if you're not accustomed to that can certainly provide a distraction. You know, unfortunately, the athletic commissions in both Louisiana and Pennsylvania preventing us from having fans right up against the ringside. But there ain't nobody regulating Beyond Wrestling Welcome Home Night 2 in Massachusetts. Kim's going to be careful overhead. And taking too much time. Getting press slam off the second rope.
They call it high risk for a reason, and there's no reward for Kimberly there. She goes back first onto the mat, and she looks in awful pain.
I mean, we haven't really seen Jordynne Grace try and take out any of the big guns yet. No, the heavy artillery, whether it's the pump handle driver, the powerbomb from the corner. Perhaps that's part of Kimberly's strategy.
There's one of them.
Just a rudimentary hold like a body slam, doing so much damage when applied by a competitor as strong as Jordynne Grace. But again, the moment of hesitation, Kim punched her in the face, Jordynne powered right through it.
And when you've been working over that back and that rib cage, a body slam like that is even more brutal.
Oh, Jordynne Grace just telling her to bring it on.
Maybe going for a German, wow!
A perfect bridge. Jordynne Grace digging deep, kicking out.
The technique has gone nowhere. Kimber Lee looking fantastic with that bridge.
Kimberly's put away so many opponents with that alligator clutch. Nobody's been able to get out of that pin, but it can certainly be scouted and countered before the full application.
And that was just dirty.
Yeah, Kim might be looking at a separated shoulder on that right arm. And now Jordynne Grace, a signature combination with the double knees. Following up with the elbow to the side of the head.
And her neck could be really cranked after that elbow. This Worcester crowd clearly has a favorite.
Jordynne looking for that muscle buster. Walking Kim out of the corner. Center of the ring.
Good night.
1, 2. Oh, defiantly bridging out is Kimber Lee. And Jordynne Grace looking for a second pin. That's exactly how Kimber Lee beat Tessa Blanchard last night.
And very impressive display of strength and boldness, if I may say so. Calling for the Air Jordan.
Jordynne's going to be looking to fly. That sounds somewhat uncharacteristic. Maybe looking for her variation of a Vader bomb. Oh, landed right on top of Kimber Lee.
She nailed it. And it looked like Kimber Lee was trying to get out of the way, but
too little, too late. The extension from Jordynne Grace coming right down on the head and face of Kimber Lee. Kim could be hurt right here.
And now Jordynne, she looks just as lost as Kimber Lee does. I think not getting the pinfall on that Vader bomb, the Air Jordan, I think it's kind of rattled her a little bit.
Well, Kim's so tough, but Kim's also a veteran. She could be playing possum right here. And that was a mistake for Jordynne Grace. I understand that she needs to utilize the power from her vertical base, but Kim was playing possum, and she helped her back up.
And now Air Kimber, perhaps, as she's going up to the top.
Well, Kim looks worse for wear, though. She's really struggling to find her footing.
Make it or break it time for Kimber Lee.
Oh! Crushed her! And picking up the win.
Here is your winner, Kimber Lee!
To walk back into this promotion and beat the woman that people believe is the ace of women's wrestling revolution is an unbelievable achievement, despite the fact that she has history here.
Well, Kimber Lee is here, Kimber Lee is home, and Kimber Lee is here to stay. Back-to-back losses for Jordynne Grace, coming up short against Cam Zagami last night. Although the credit could be given to Brian Malonis. Still seeing some good sportsmanship, as tonight perhaps the better woman has won.